What's going on, everyone? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. I'm jumping in here today, kind of unannounced. I didn't think I'd be on till tomorrow morning when I am back to the office and starting our regular broadcasts. But here I am, and I wanted to do this impromptu live session with you today and do a review of the markets and see what we have going on. I hope everyone had a great weekend, is doing well, ready for this week ahead. We have a really busy week ahead of us. There's going to be a lot going on, specifically Wednesday when we have the FOMC, and then Thursday, the ECB. It's going to be a very, very busy week, and there's going to be a lot for us to review and to trade. Let's take a look what we have going on this morning. Matty H, welcome. There's something I wanted to show this morning, actually, that was really, really, really insightful. I had on my Twitter feed this morning. I have first, the New York's Fed is continuing their repo action, and they bought $56 billion this morning in their overnight operation. And then the tweet below it, coincidentally, was the DXY, the dollar index. Liquidity is directly or indirectly the bedrock of all risk on trades. So you have to be aware, and it's why it's funny that both these tweets are back to back here, is because the Fed is right now holding up the market. They are injecting billions of dollars every day into the repo market. It's kind of difficult to be betting against the dollar, to be betting again, to be going on into risk off trades when you have the Fed holding up the market. So just be really, really always aware of what's going on around you. I want to get into it now. We were talking yesterday. It was a very short weekly review. That was because I am away. And one of the things that I said to focus on overnight was the euro US dollar. I said if during London session, you had the opportunity, you saw that price make a higher high than the previous price bar to get long. So that's what it would have looked like. I myself was not trading. I am away. I will not be trading myself until Wednesday when we have the FOMC. Tuesday I'll be back. Wednesday I'll begin trading. If anyone took this trade that we discussed in the weekly review, again, price had come down to this upper trend line right here. We expected it to hold that support. It held that support exactly. You can see this right here. We had this drawn in. We've been watching this for days, talking about we were waiting for price to come down and test this line right here for it to act as support. It did almost exactly, which is nice to see during the Asian session. And then, I'm sorry, this was Friday. Here you have Asia session on Monday, and here would have been the entry as price made a higher high. What do you do right now? I looked at this as soon as I woke up. And if I were in this trade, I would simply take profit right now. Why? Because we have Wednesday, the FOMC meeting. The Fed is expected to be on hold. They're not expected to continue lowering rates, cutting rates at this point. What does that mean for the dollar? I would expect it means they feel that the US economy is in a pretty good place, and that is probably going to be dollar positive. Other central banks are still talking about perhaps cutting rates. Some are on hold. New Zealand central bank is on hold now. The Australian central bank seems to be on hold right now. Nevertheless, I think this is dollar positive. I would just take this profit, this trade right now going into the week. You don't really want to be holding trades the closer we get to Wednesday. This is kind of like free money. I would just take it off the table right now and then just be better positioned going into Wednesday. You are trading right now at the support level. If you want to lock your stop in to break even, that's also fine. It's a good play. Then you have a free trade. I don't want to give this money back if I was in this trade under the circumstances. You are between this resistance level, and there's a chance that we could get up here and test this resistance level in the next couple of days for sure. That's a possibility. But we're kind of in no man's land outside of that. Man, I was talking about that yesterday. I love them so much. Want to go back. All about all the food in New York City. Um, Raj, you didn't miss anything at all. We just jumped on. You have the replay regardless. I really always want to stay in the flow of the market, even if it's a short session, even if it's 30 minutes, 1 hour. Still want to see what is going on, catch up with all of you guys, and make sure as this important week gets underway that we are all together. So let's see what else is going on. I'm curious what's happening with gold. This is unannounced. I said that most likely I was going to be skipping this session. I mentioned, I think, in the weekly Forex forecast over the weekend in the short one that if I could jump on today, I would. I had the possibility. I'm not sure what's going on with our travel plans, whether or not we're going to be able to get home today or tomorrow. So, nevertheless, I just wanted to get in here with you. Gold is kind of where we left it off. I'm going to start on the daily time frame. Gold is where we left it off. The entry was up over here off the resistance, and now you're back down. Again, unless you're in gold, I would not be looking to trade gold right now. You're definitely in no man's land. You have the next support down here. If you're holding gold from up here, I think you're still holding it. I know I would be waiting right now to see what's to happen with the stop at break even. We got a lot of work to do on gold. You got to get above this resistance level up here. Keep that in mind, because once we do clear, when the bulls eventually clear this resistance level up here, then it gets exciting for long trades. That's not right now. Is the Fed going to put some pressure on gold? I think so. I don't know though. This looks like it's kind of like a bear flag developing. Let's draw that in. Keep that in mind. That kind of looks like if that breaks down below, you have a support over here. Nevertheless, that's a pattern to watch out for. I'm going to be watching it. If we break below, you have this support right here. Once you get below this support over here, it gets interesting. Whether or not the support will hold again, I have no idea. If we get a breakout out of this, you have to watch it to the downside. Adversely, the closer you get to this resistance until it breaks, you're watching it to the downside. All right, let's keep going. US dollar, Japanese yen. It's kind of flat, right? I would stand aside right now. Again, the closer we get down to this support level down here, we have a possible buy entry. We're expecting that support to hold until it breaks. But right now, we're between levels. This should now be resistance. Let's draw that in as resistance. And we're kind of just dancing between resistance and support. So we're in no man's land. The better opportunity to trade is off of support, buy off of support. You know you're wrong right away and sell off of resistance. So we still have time for something to develop there. US dollar, Canadian dollar, she's jumped back up again. Let's see. We had the break of this trend line over here. We stood aside. We watched what would happen over here around the support area. She broke through one support, broke through another support to the downside, and then broke through and didn't hold this support down here, and then has come up and retaking all those support levels. So it's now has a bullish bias, and it's trading back here. Again, the closer this comes down to this support level here of the bottom of this blue box and the bottom of this trend line, that looks like a possible buy entry if it bounces up off of the supports. That's one to be looking until why it's holding above all these support levels, be looking to the upside over here. Not yet though, wait for it. Again, keep in mind every moment of this day, Wednesday's the FOMC. Careful about what positions you get into. Expect from Tuesday evening to Wednesday afternoon, the price action will be pretty narrow and dulled. I want to look at the Australian dollar, US dollar with everyone today because there's a little bit of teaching that needs to be done over here. Let's take a look at it. I'm removing this. This is drawn in today for the purpose of what this is how I had my chart. Let me clean that up a little for you. I don't need that in right now. I drove my trend line right over here from the opening and the close of these price bars, ignoring the wicks. I connected them, again, ignoring the wicks. And then I connected them over here, and I could see when price broke up over here to the upside, that price then was holding that broken resistance as support until it broke. So I continued drawing it over there. The resistance held, and same thing, it broke above until it went back below. And then again over here, you could see this trend line was respected when price broke above it as support until it broke down. And then someone else sent me a photo. Jeff sent me a photo, and he was looking at something a little different than me. This is what I was looking at, and I was saying, okay, I have the support down here. I'm above this trend line, so I have a bullish bias. I'm looking for long side trades. Jeff didn't have this trend line in here, the one that I have. He has my resistance over here. What he had was this other trend line. Let me draw it in. Connecting the top of the wicks. All right, so he has this trend line drawn in. This one was removed. I'm going to remove it for a second. And he was looking at this. And he's saying, Jordan, why are you buying? I'm selling. I have resistance up above. I have this upper trend line resistance above. And I'm looking to sell over here while you're buying. So I'm confused. And well, that's pretty good analysis. And I could see what he's looking at. I'm going to include both of them because mine's valid. Right? So if you were looking at the trend line that he drew in, again, it's an art, it's not a science. And he was trading off of this resistance over here and this resistance trend line over here. I see it. That's good, right? I could also see my trend line and my support over here. So I could see the case for buying down here as well. Now, the better assessment after I saw what he had seen and drawn in, and you could see on the euro Japanese yen, I had my double trend lines in. I was using them both as a guide, right? So I think it's helpful. I just didn't see the upper one at the time. And what this says to me now is, well, stand aside. Just stand aside. You have resistance and support here. You're in no man's land, resistance over here too, and support over here. So why play the range? Let me wait until I get below this support over here, look to the sell side, or get above these doubles, resistance above here, and look to the upside. So that was helpful that he had that question, because in clearing up the question, it added to my analysis and then puts me on the sidelines. Wilfer, good morning. Glad you were here. I did get your email, and I absolutely be getting back to you as soon as possible for sure. And I'm really glad you reached out. That showed me that you're really looking to learn. I'm all about that. I like that. We've covered a lot so far this morning in just 15 minutes. We're going to keep going though, and I want to see what else is going on this morning. This is interesting. We have the euro Japanese yen, and we could see here that she's bouncing off of support. I want to see what that looks like on the 8-hour time frame. That looks pretty. All right. You see her, the support so far holding, prices bouncing off right now. This is it would be an aggressive entry, right? It's not aggressive. It's just the timing of Wednesday. Someone else was commenting on one of the videos yesterday, and it was the video from Wednesday when we were doing our analysis. Obviously, I was traveling the next day. I wasn't looking to trade. They took issue with the fact that we did a 3-hour video and they didn't take any trades. I tried to explain that I'm only going to take a few trades a week, and if you're not yet profitable, if you're taking more than 3 trades a week, 12 trades a month, this is probably the main reason why you're not profitable. I'm going to always reviewing the market, understanding what's going on, and picking my setups. I'm not looking to trade to be into a trade. I'm looking to make money out of the markets. So I'm only going to take the trades that I want to, that I see to be really, really solid setups, high probability setups. And the other ones, I'm just training myself. Over here, you have a possible setup, right? Why? The true trend, Jordan, is negative, and the entry CCI is pulled back, right? So that's set up possibly for a short. Yeah, I see that, but I also see the true trend is sideways right now. It's not trending, it's sideways, and we're off a support level down here. And this support level, if I zoom back, let me get rid of that true trend for the moment. This support level is at a pretty decent spot for this range, right? You know you're wrong right away if price breaks down to the downside, then you can get out of the trade, right? So you have a stop loss even below this move right here because you're outside this this trend channel, and if price trades outside of it, you're probably wrong. Well, you need to get out of it regardless. And over here to the upside, we have some room. We have right above us this green line here, which is a support line that was broken, so it's now resistance. Right above you. So that's not so good. And then you also have this lighter trend line support, which is broken right now. So it could be acting as resistance. Let's look down here. You see over here, when price broke down and bounced off the support, this broken support line also acted as resistance. You see that until it broke. So over here, you have this support line above, this broken support line above is resistance. And then you have this broken support trend line, which is also resistance right now. So if you're taking along into double resistance. They're both light resistance, but they're both resistance, right? So this says to me to stand aside on this trade. That's why it's not a good one. It doesn't have that favorable risk to reward. I don't like taking trades that immediately fall into resistance. That's not good. So right now, I could watch this to the downside and see if it breaks down outside of this pretty heavy support trend line. Then that gets interesting. Will that happen before Wednesday? I doubt it. And then adversely, we could just wait for this to do some more work, right? Get back above this line over here, and then you got this heavy trend line above, this heavy resistance line above here. So wait for it to get back above all 1, 2, 3 resistance lines. It gets up in this pocket over here. That looks good. Then you're free of all that. You have, of course, you have more resistance, but it's a better trade up here. So right now, this is just on hold. It's better to stand aside. What's going on with the pound pairs this morning. Pound US dollar and the pound Japanese yen. I want to chicken on them. They have been really handling this breakout to the upside over here. Since pulled back and now seem to be holding well. Nothing too much is going on. Remember, if you're trading the pound, a lot of people are attracted to the pound pairs. You have on Thursday elections that are really going to probably help with the next immediate term direction of the pound. So that's a really high impact news event over the pound today, over the pound this week. You probably want to be on the sidelines and waiting. A lot of times you will get moves ahead of a big market impact news like that, and then sometimes it becomes to buy the news, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? And if this breakout, buy the rumor, and then will it be sell the news on Thursday? We'll find out. Let's just be aware. We always want to have an idea of what's happening in the markets to help us along the way, and ultimately trade was on the charts. Same thing here on the pound Japanese yen. You see the breakout and she's holding up well. That's beautiful. There's nothing to do though. I would stand on the side, stay on the sidelines on the pound. What's happening? We have about 10 more minutes to the US equities open, and so far the dollar index is being rejected up here. You can see it over here. This, which was our support and support, once they were broken, became resistance and resistance. This resistance up here is holding. You saw that play out on the euro US dollar, where this support held, and she's back into no man's land. Um, Again, if you took this trade that we talked about yesterday, I would be taking profits on it. I would just take it as some free money and just get back to neutral and wait for this week to develop. You do not want to be holding trades going into Wednesday when the FOMC meets that are against you. That's a terrible position to be playing from. You want to be going into that meeting neutral if possible. It's the best way. What else do we have going on? If anyone's looking at something this morning, awesome. I want to see it. Please let me know. US dollar, Swiss franc. I should be looking on the daily with you all. It's just trading in this blue consolidation zone, congestion zone that we have over here. There's no trade going on whatsoever. Wait till we start trading outside of this box to the downside or get above it and trade to the upside. Right now, within this box, if you're a range player, you could be buying down here and selling up here. That's not my style. What I saw someone in our room sell it from up here. That's a good trade if that's what you do. Euro, Australian dollar. I've been watching this one. I don't know what to make of it right now. I had this blue box over here and I was looking to see if price broke to the downside to see if I could get in a short. But since then, it's been up and down, right? So that's why I said I don't know what to make of it. And because I don't know what to make of it, I'm trying to see if there's a support line down here. You could see it. Not really. A little bit, even still. Because I don't know what to make of it, I'm just gonna be standing aside. I'm not gonna trade something at all that is not giving me a clear picture and giving me an edge. And right now, I'm just gonna be on the sidelines, not looking for anything. Um, we'll come back to it when things are developing further. So Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, I'm assuming that we need to move this down to the lower ends. But still, this is on edge over here. This looks like it's getting ready again, possibly to break down like the euro Japanese yen out of that trend line, or it's going to hold. Either which way, I'm not looking to trade this one either. I'm looking on the sidelines for both the euro Japanese yen and the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. I'm just going to wait a little further for something to develop. Again, it has to be there. You can't force it. It has to be there and it has to be clear for you to take the trade. Otherwise, you don't want anything to do with it. And I could kind of see, and I hope you can see from what we're doing this morning in our review, that it looks like most of these pairs are just kind of in no man's land, a little bit indecisive, and most likely they'll stay that way until we get these central banks out of the way Wednesday and Thursday, which means on Wednesday I'm going to have an opportunity to be day trading. I'm going to be trading off of the 1 minute time frame on the FOMC announcement and press conference. I'll do that live with you. I'll walk you through it, show you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But as far as taking any type of swing trades right now, I don't see anything happening at all this morning in the market. And if you took that euro US dollar trade, uh, I would be taking profit on it at the very least. If you took this entry over here during London, I would take profit right now. If you move your stop to break even, that's fine. You're below this support level and something good might come of it. There's absolutely a good possibility or exists that you come up here and that you're able to come up ahead and test this resistance over here And of course, that becomes a beautiful trade at that point. Um, I think from my experience, from my 19 years of experience, the best thing you could do right now is get flat going into this meeting. Often, what happened to me in my early days of trading, going into a FOMC meeting, I would just be behind in a position. It's a terrible place to be. You want to play from a position of strength, not weakness. And if you're in a position that's going against you into Wednesday and Thursday, it's tough. Um, there's a lot of money to be made this week, but only if you're on the right side of the market. So you can't be playing from a weak hand. Let's check it out. I don't know. Okay, so let's start on the daily time frame and let's review this together from clean. So if you pull back, and the first thing I'm looking for is support and resistance, and you can see, you know, up right there, where that's peaked on Friday. And I wasn't looking on the right, I was looking on the left. I was looking at this wick down here, this over here. This was support. Let me draw the line in now. There was my touch, came back all the way down and came back up. That support held as support, finally broke through, tested as resistance there, broke through, tested as support, right? Over there is holding us as support on this bar. Again, held resistance. So that's an important level to be focused on over there, right? That's a little bit of resistance above us. What else do I see in this picture? I see down here, this will be my new support. I'm gonna draw that in. All right. So now what am I looking to do between these two levels? Well, let's look at the 8 hour. We're going to be in an uptrend, a strong uptrend, right? We're in a strong uptrend coming off of into this resistance over here. This resistance, we can see going back, has held multiple touches, but at the same time, like most support and resistance, also has many blow throughs. What does that mean hanging out up here? Well, I wouldn't be looking to short this in such a strong uptrend. We're in a very strong uptrend. You know, oftentimes though, when the true trend gets this overbought, we're above 250. That could be a pretty good place for a reversal. If you're shorting up over here off this resistance, I see it. It's very counter trend to me. Um, you can see the dollar has been coming off today. Not so much the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. That's holding up pretty well. What was the price point you gave? 6464. So you're looking for to come back and test down here, right? I have put my support in a little bit higher. I'm just trying to get on the same page. I have my support up a little bit higher from over here in the past. You see support, support, resistance. You're playing off the one off of here, support, support, down a little lower. That's a blue box area. Be careful. Pay mind to the one I put over here at 6485. Um, you're so I like the fact that you're trading off of resistance. I think you said a trend channel. I'm sorry. Let me draw that in. No, that's not what you have in there then, Jermaine. 6464. All I see is one touch over here, 6464. Minor resistance that was broken there. I don't really see that. Are you able to go ahead from your trading view? Just go ahead and click this button, take a snapshot of the chart you have up, and then you could go ahead over to my Twitter and send me a direct message, and get that chart to me right now, and I'll pull it up so I could see what it is you're looking at over here in the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. What I'm seeing, and once you just, and while you're doing that, just know what I'm seeing up here. I'm seeing, and actually after drawing this trend line in here, trying to get what you were looking at, which is not, but I see we have some resistance up here, double resistance, right? So is it a good spot for longs to take profit into? Yes. Is it a good place to take shorts into? Well, I don't know about that. That's a really counter trend trade, and those could pay off to some of the biggest profits, but the hardest to nail. Paul Tudor Jones said he made a lot of his money picking tops and bottoms, but he was quick to take losses on them and get out really quick because you're going to be wrong many times. You have decent resistance spot to be into right now to lean off of selling, but you're such in a strong uptrend that I don't like it. And I'm not saying this is not, if you're selling up here, right, you are selling into a double resistance in something very overbought. Not terrible, not bad at all, but for me, it is very counter trend, and I don't like it, and I don't do it. But I wouldn't be looking to buy anything up here until you clear these levels to the upside. I would love to see the chart you have, because I have a feeling that, well, at the very least, it's going to help my analysis. So if you're able to share that, please do. Even still, this is a pretty good look for everyone at the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. And again, this is not a place to buy. It's a place to take profits. And if you're selling it, just be really, just get out if you're wrong, right? You have to have a tight stop. When you're taking counter trend trades, you have to have a tight stop. You have to make sure to respect it. And that's it. There's potential here, especially going into the FOMC on Wednesday, right? You think this move is going to continue to the upside? I don't think so, but I don't know. It's going to find out. I'm not sure that there's anything else to look at. So I want to look at anything else. If anyone else has any questions, something that they're looking at. Otherwise, I think this was a really good, really small session that was impactful. We got a lot done. I'm not sure of my plans. I'm not sure whether we're going to be back today or tomorrow. Either which way, I will be jumping on tomorrow morning. If I'm in the office, it'll be a regular session, which is through the London close together. And if I'm not, it'll at least be what we did today. But we still have some time here right now. And if anyone is looking or wants to take a look at anything, I do. Okay, that's perfect. We have to make an easier way to come up with an easier way for everyone to be able to send links. You could take a screenshot on a Mac by pressing Command Shift number 4, and then just take a picture, upload it to postimages.org. We have the US indices slightly down here and mixed on the open. Again, for those that missed it earlier, up that's gone now. Won't be able to find it. There it is, right there. I was looking at my feed this morning and I saw that the New York Fed had accepted $56 billion in overnight the repo operation, and then the tweet directly under it was the DXY liquidity is directly or indirectly the bedrock of all risk on trades. You have to understand these tweets are separate, they're not related, but they're completely related. You have to understand the Fed is holding up the market right now. The liquidity is being provided by the Fed. Yeah, Paul, let's look at the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. For me, it's really indecisive. And I really got that picture, Paul, more from the euro Japanese yen than directly from the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. So I just want to take a look real quick for you to understand that and why. So I'm going to look at the euro Japanese yen first because we took a good look at it. Hold on one second, please. This is the euro Japanese yen. These two pairs trade very similar to each other. They're both, I want to give you a good look. They're both trading in this channel over here, and this channel on both of them looks to be that it is a bear flag in a steep downtrend. You can see over here the same pattern playing out on the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. It looks like a bear flag. It's trading within this channel in this downtrend. So they both have a very similar pattern here. And I was digging into the euro Japanese yen, and I noticed that price right now is respecting and bouncing off of this lower trend line. Now, the reason I wasn't interested in taking the long is because right above it, I do have this resistance, this broken support. So I don't like taking trades directly into resistance or selling into support. And this broken trend line here, support, trend line support is also now going to probably be acting as resistance until it breaks back above it. And you could see over here an example of that. You could see when it broke down, it acted as resistance until it broke up. It broke down back in and then up again until it held as support, right? So I expect up here you have double resistance. So I don't really like that to the long side. And then we have the once we clear above this resistance up here, it looks really good. Because if we do get above this double resistance here, then we have another resistance above us. So I don't, to the downside, it looks better. If we break down to the downside, okay, that looks good. We have support down here. That's a good risk to reward ratio off the bat. So looking at the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, I'm assuming it's the same thing. Let's take a look. Let's dig in deeper. All right, first of all, Paul, bear with me here. I moved this line down here this morning on this live stream together with all of you down to the lower wicks. That means there is also the one above it that's using it's not clean. I want it to be clean. I wish I would. I don't really like that. I wish I had mine in. that I had in originally before I erased it. I just would have added the second one. So I can't find that right now. But I do know there is, just like on the Euro Japanese yen, I have, probably draw it in like this. I do have resistance above me. It's kind of trading out right now. So if it will clear up a little higher, and this little broken support is now resistance. So if I get up into this area here, above into this pocket, actually better than the Euro Japanese yen, I have some more upside until I get up to that resistance level up here. I have about 50 pips, right? That becomes more interesting. Right now, though, I don't like the fact that I have this resistance above me. It's trading right at a resistance line right now. It's just too congested. I want to be taking entries with nothing over my head, not into any type of resistance. And there is resistance over here. We're trading at it right now. So I would be very cautious of taking any buys right here. I'd rather get clear and then have an opportunity. Above here, it looks much better. Above here looks good, because then you get a nice trade into there or breaking down. So that's the way I see the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, and the Euro Japanese yen, which really seem to both to be trading very correlated, very correlated. Yep. Well, so Wilford, that's good. I'm gonna, yes and no. All right. Good. We took longs on this. Um, I don't remember if it was over here, which I think it was, or it was over here. And in both these cases, the true trend was negative, but we took them off of support and resistance. We took it off of this trend line. See this pattern over here? You see it on the daily really easy. We're trading this channel. And since price was trading at the lower support, the fact that the true trend was negative became irrelevant. We were trading this channel pattern, and we were on support, and we were taking the trade off of support because we had a good risk to reward. You could see that on the Euro US dollar very clearly and well. We took a trade, and I'll bring it up for you right now because it was more clear. No, there was no counter trend trades here. So Wilford, super good. We used the true trend as an additional guide for helping us and to know the trend, if it's down or up, and also to know if you are buying or selling with something using the entry CCI that's oversold or overbought. Because as you may know, or a lot of traders know, that they're often chasing momentum. This will prevent you from trading momentum. It is possible, and it doesn't happen often, but it is possible to take a trade in the wrong direction of the true trend if you are trading off of a support and resistance level. And that's it. So I don't want to confuse you too much. And if you're just getting started, then it's better not to trade against the true trend and only wait for examples in which we're actually doing it. So the only immediate example that I could remember is on the Euro Japanese yen, and whether it was this trade or this trade, I'm not certain. But we took one together. I think it was in this area over here, and we played it off of. We took the trade. It could have been this one too. I don't know. It was one of these two, and we took the trade with the negative true trend because we were taking it off this support level of this big pattern. All right, so we were looking for this to hold. You could see over here where the true trend was also negative. We weren't trading this together, but if you're playing it off this support over here, it was okay. Did it happen on the US dollar, Japanese yen? Yes. We took this trade over here in this area with the true trend negative because it was off of this support. All right, we had this support line over here. Actually, it was this support. I'll make it darker for you. It was taken off of this support line with a negative true trend. So if you're playing a chart pattern off of the resistance and the support, and the true trend is to the other side, it is okay. Again, it's better to wait until it's going to happen again, for sure, in real time, and wait for those examples to come up before you start on your own analysis, taking trades away from the true trend. Alberto, which pair are you talking about? Sounds like you were placing a trade that didn't go through. I'm not sure if it was a limit order. If you were trying to check whether, for example, I'm assuming it wasn't a market order. I'm assuming you were placing either a buy limit order, and it should have been a buy stop instead, or if you were putting a sell limit, it should have been a sell stop. So go ahead and try and replace that order. I'm interested to know what it is you're seeing a setup today. I don't think that anyone should be taking new trades today. Wednesday is the FOMC. I think the trade overnight was on the Euro US dollar. We looked at that in the weekly Forex forecast over the weekend, and I would be taking profits on that. But I think what's happening is instead of placing a buy stop or a sell stop, you're placing a buy limit or a sell limit. If anyone else is looking at something or interested in looking at something else this morning, that's awesome. I would love to take a look. Otherwise, we're going to keep this short today, and tomorrow will be the same thing. I'll be on definitely by 9 o'clock in the morning, and whether it's a half hour or 1 hour session, that will be the very least. Otherwise, if I'm back home in the office, it will be our normal sessions where we hang out together, trading, looking at the markets, seeing what's going on all the way through the London close. And on Wednesday, we're going to do multiple sessions because we're going to be looking at trading the FOMC live together. But I'm pretty sure, again, instead of placing a buy limit or a sell limit, make that a buy stop or a sell stop. I think that was the issue you were having. All right, everyone. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Anyone has any questions, you know how to reach me. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later.